Namaskar, brothers and sisters. You are never alone or helpless. The force that guides the stars guides you too. He appears to you according to your feelings towards him. If you are subtle, he is nearest to you. If you are crude, he is far from you. Do you feel whether the Supreme Consciousness is in India or in America? He is so near as to be in your feelings, so far as to be in a distant country. When you think he's here, he's nearer than here. He is so near that it is difficult to measure the distance. You go on searching for him in the caves of the Himalayas and wander here and there, and he's nowhere. But when you attain awareness of him, you find that he was all along with you in your search. He was seated in your heart. He is the witness of all the worlds, all the deeds done in this universe. Nothing is secret for him. You cannot do anything nor think anything without being witnessed by him. If anyone says, "I am not being witnessed by anybody," he will be witnessing this utterance. So, as the witnessing entity, he is always with you. This is the greatest assurance, because when you know that he is with you, your mental strength will be increased 1,000 times, because he is always with you to help you. The only demerit that he is always with you. You cannot do anything secretly, you will be caught red-handed. But the merit is that because he is with you, you are never alone. You are never weak. You are never helpless. So the duty of the perfect human being, the duty of a spiritual aspirant, is always to remember this supreme truth, that one is never alone. One is always with Supreme Father. He will always help you, and he will always accelerate the speed of your progress. Whatever you do, the Supreme Consciousness is seeing everything. For him, no part of you being is closed or shut. He is the innermost part of your being. Today I am very busy and I have to attend the party, so I shall do meditation sadhana for 3 or 4 minutes only. He knows that you are placing a party above sadhana. He hears both your spoken words as well as the thought words. Actually, he hears them first, before they become mental. He is therefore in full knowledge of all that goes on within and without and beneath the mind. Don't try to hide anything from him. You will not succeed. He is with you always. You are never alone. Sometimes there arises in the mind a defeatist complex. Oh, I am defeated in this project. Oh, I am defeated in this struggle for existence. When your Father is the Supreme Father, when your Father is the most powerful entity in the entire universe, why should you think that you have been defeated in this struggle for existence? No, a bright future always awaits for you. Your future is glorious, your future is luminous, your future is effulgent. Now I'm leaving this country and I'm leaving you physically. I'm always with you. I will always be with you. Physically, I'm leaving you, my sons and daughters, but I can't forget you. And mentally, I will always be with you. I want all of you to be ideal human beings. All of you should attain the pinnacle of human glory. Let your existence be successful. I have nothing more to say. Peace be with you. My sons and daughters, I have one more sentence to say. I do not belong to heaven. When I am to express this truth in the single sentence. I am yours. No power in heaven and earth can separate me from my children. Even if this universe comes to an end, I will be with them in the expressionless cosmos. My children, be they gentle, be they naughty, they are mine. Sri Sri Anandamurti. As you can see, I have some nice collection of knives here, and I wanted to tell you interesting story, interesting things which are happening recently. Actually, during last 2 months, since I started this video channel, I started to find knives on the street. You know, if I find 1 or 2 knives, okay, somebody lost it. It's not a big deal, you know. But if you find so many knives in such a short period of time, let's say 7, 8 weeks, I found 6 knives. There is one more knife. Just a second. There is one more. This one. That's actually the first one I found, and maybe the best one. Now you can see, very nice. It's a French made, very sharp. I sharpened them all. This one I got a sheet for it as well here. Sorry, sheet. And I have another one which is a present. This one I didn't find. It's a present from the friend. So these 2 I always carry with me. I had the problems with carrying the knives in England, but in this country I still didn't have. I hope not. I have to admit that, okay, I'm a spiritual person, I'm vegetarian, and you know, I don't smoke, I don't take drugs, I don't drink, I don't eat meat. But I like weapons, especially cold weapons, especially knives. So I started to find knives, one after another. During this period, since 1st October. And interesting thing also, apart from the knives, I think when I found this one, it was in some box on the street thrown, and I was just passing. I opened the box. I was curious. Something told me to open that box. I don't know why. And inside was also this. Okay, you will see a reverse because I'm using selfie mode. It's a tarot card which represents, it's the King of Swords, which is, if it's up, placed up like this one, which I found, it means, it doesn't want to stay, it doesn't matter. Oh, maybe like this, I can put it. Okay, here we go. It means mental clarity, intellectual power, authority, and truth. The king holds a sword in his right hand, which is a symbol of conscious, rational mind. He wears the blue tunic, which is the symbol of desire for spiritual knowledge. But the story doesn't end up here, because when I was living off-grid, I did that for almost 4 years in London, including the winter, until it was stopped by authorities in January 2017. Then for 3 years I stopped my adventure But now I'm back to it. Now I'm again living off-grid. I'm planning to pass this winter off-grid. It means living in a tent. But the tent is not set up outside. It's set up in a bunker, kind of cave, which is not far from here, maybe 5-10 minutes walk from here, in the nature, outskirts of town, very well hidden. And I'm very happy living like that. I have to admit, first, it's very cheap. Secondly, unlimited freedom and peace, lots of peace for meditation, and so on. So when I started my living off-grid in 2013, which was almost half of the year I would spend living in a tent, from September to early spring, then I would travel around Europe. And living like that, I was able to save enough money to travel after for 3 or 4 months all over the Central Europe, Eastern Europe. I would normally go from England to Eastern Europe, Croatia, Serbia, Hungary. Then I would stay in Dalmatia, then go to Italy, to Spain, and from Spain back to England. So that would be like trips about 8,000 to 10,000 kilometers every year. And then I would go in I would go back in September to London, and I was living off-grid in a tent. That was until 2017. Then for 3 years, I got civilized. I started to live like normal person, which I didn't enjoy much. And it was more boring and expensive. I'm lucky to go back to my old ways now. I started to find the cards on the street. And the first 4 cards I found were kings. But they were normal, ordinary playing cards. The first one, I think it was the king of diamond, and the last one was the always different one. The last one was the king of heart, I think. After I found a couple of more cards, but very interesting is that the first 4 ones I found, all of them were kings. I would just come across on the street, and they were in front of me, always faced up towards me, so I can see which card it is. And of course, when I found first card, I just pick it up. God, somebody lost the card. Very curious, only one card in the middle of the street. I pick it up. When I found the second one, again king, that started to bring my attention. Then I found the third one. And then the fourth one was again king. That was just like very, very strange. That was obviously somebody sending me some science, or something strange is happening. So when I found this knife, maybe a couple of weeks ago, I cannot remember exactly when, in the box was this card. The king again. But this time, it's a tarot card, from tarot, no? It's not the playing card. I don't know who is doing this to me and why is sending me these cards. It's always king. It has some meaning, I know that. Nothing happened by accident in this world. Also, synchronicity with the master numbers. I had a lot of that during that period. It still happens sometimes. I don't pay so much attention to that because I got used. That means when you start coming across master numbers, 11, 22, 33, everywhere you look. But when that becomes so intense sometimes, that brings your attention. No? For example, you can 3 times in a row had a look at the clock, and it would be like seconds would be master numbers, That just can't be accident. It can happen once, but if it happens 3, 4 times in a row, one after another, that's obviously some kind of synchronicity is going on. This is also some kind of synchronicity with the knives. I don't know why Baba is arming me so much. You know, I need basically only 1 or 2 knives. I don't need 7 of them. But, you know, I wanted to tell you this story, which is interesting. You know, it just brings attention. So you make your own conclusions about this, my brothers and sisters. I always carry a knife with me. Of course, I never use it against the human, and you know, that would be last solution, like self-defense. People ask me how you are not afraid to sleep anywhere in the wilderness, or when I was traveling on a big parkings where the truckers are parking, and you have a lot of dodgy people and thieves and all over the Europe, and you're not afraid to be alone in a tent. Of course I am not afraid. I'm armed. I have a weapon on me always, and I'm ready to use it in self-defense. So fortunately never happened. Actually, I had one incident. I was in a tent, and then suddenly I saw where the zippers meet to that little hole, I saw somebody's finger. You know, I just woke up and I saw somebody's finger, you know, inside of the tent. Only finger. There was so small hole. And I just shouted, if you don't take that F finger out, I'm gonna F cut it off. And the finger disappeared. I opened the zipper, and the guy was moving away. He was very well dressed. He was not some tramp or somebody. I think it was an undercover policeman. And I just told him to F off and not come back. And he said, I will be back. Actually, a couple of months later, they came back. He completed his promise. But, you know, I swear at him that I didn't know it was policeman. I don't care. You know, why he was putting the finger in my tent. Anyway, you have to be ready. I have a friend, virtual friend, I made friend, and I would like to show you his, I think you can see it well. I will keep it. Plowboy Ghost. Plowboy's Ghost. My dear new virtual friend, my supporter. He's into arms. He's American guy, YouTuber, Southern Cowboy, and he has channels about arms, but not ordinary arms. He is doing videos about 19th century arms, you know, the Winchester, of the Wild West guns and rifles. Winchester, Colts, all kind, you know, the weapons which were used during the conquest of the Wild West. He's a lovely man. He's really cool, and I recommend his video. Who likes guns and who likes Americans, you know, cool American cowboys, I really recommend, you know, this channel. And another one I want to recommend as well, because this Brazilian girl, Madhu Kirtan, it's her fault I'm talking about my adventures and everything, because she told me, I'll show you again, she's a singer, her channel is a musical channel, and it's her fault I'm talking about my adventures and everything, because she advised me to say, apart from the spiritual texts I'm reading, the discourses from Sri Sri Anandamurti, to make my program a little bit, my video, my show a little bit more interesting. So she's responsible for this madness and for these stories, and will be more of them in the future. I will keep you informed about my off-grid living during the winter. It's not that hard like people think. You have to be very well organized. You have to have, of course, very good equipment, good double-coated tent, which has to be set up during the winter somewhere inside. But in Spain the winter is very mild, the same like in England. Rarely temperature goes below zero, so it's not a big deal. Look, today I'm sitting outside. It's a nice day. It was a little bit sunshine too. It's not so cold, and it's like 7th December. I don't know what is 8th December, 7th, 8th December today. So it's not that hard, but you need a good equipment. You need transport, definitely. You need a vehicle. In my case, it's a motorcycle. You need a gas stove. You need two sleeping bags, of course, and a good proper bed, some mattress, and it's not so big problem. I have to say that I spent already 4 winters like this. This is gonna be the 5th one. I never got sick. Not maybe for one day I had headache, but that's a normal thing. There's nothing to do with off-grid living. I never been sick. I never went to the hospital. Not even once. Even I was taking showers sometimes outside with the cold water. That would be quick shower, but because I had a motorcycle, I would go to visit friends. So all that supplying the food and water and having shower, it was not a big problem if you have a vehicle. Especially motorcycle, because you are quick to do things, and I've been always working. I have to say that I was always working full-time job. So, I didn't have never had a problem with money. Never had an economical problem. Even I could save after to travel for 3 or 4 months, and that's the way how you can maintain your nomadic lifestyle and freedom. You just have to want to do it. You just have to create with your thoughts and your actions, your lifestyle, and you can achieve basically everything. That's the message of this video. You can achieve everything you want, and This year I decided to live like this because of this situation where our freedom is so drastically restricted suddenly, so much control, and this is one way of rebelling me against the system, way of protest. I want to do exactly the opposite. And more they are imposing the slavery and control, and with all these lies, with this false drama, which there is no anything happening. It's all project, I cannot use the words, you understand. I have to use the words like drama and ghost bug, and because the freedom of speech is completely taken away as well. One wrong word and YouTube can delete this video. So, but you know what I'm talking about. It's all lie. It's a project. It's not even flu. I said that before. People don't believe. It could be some kind of poisoning. It could be, which changed the symptoms of ordinary flu. And there are these microwave G4+1. They are installing everywhere, which is destroying the oxygen and then of course wearing the muzzle, which also reduces the oxygen, and that makes the immune system weak. So people are getting maybe this when they get something normal thing which you get every year, the symptoms are a little bit stronger, and then they blame on that invisible enemy. It's all very well planned. Long time ago, in October, was announced that it's going to be. How did they know 6 months before it's going to be drama? I ask everybody who believes in this, how you cannot plan these things. You cannot predict these things. You can predict them only if you plan them. So, my friends, brothers and sisters, this was the story for today about the king of the swords, or maybe we could call them the king of knives. Interesting. If I find more cards of king or more knives, I will keep you informed. Okay, that would be enough for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I love you very much. Take care. Look after yourself. Be safe. Try to do some meditation with mantra Bhavanam Kevalam. Definitely you must switch to vegetarian food, because that's one of the ways to protect yourself, to protect your health, because we are under attack. Our health is under attack. Positive thinking, and use critical thinking as well. People forgot about that. Don't trust what you are told. Use critical thinking. Observe things, inform yourself properly, and make your own decisions. Don't trust anything you are told. Critical thinking. Pensamiento crea. Constructive thinking, because with your thoughts you create your reality. I love you all. Namaskar.